maybe I can't do it all is something that I absolutely did not want to hear coming from myself this week. Because as an ambitious person, there is so much that I want to achieve, especially if I'm doing a 6 month challenge where I'm trying to see just how much I can actually change my life. But the caveat is that I'm trying to do it in a healthy and sustainable way. And because I have a sensitive nervous system, my body will tell me almost immediately if something that I'm doing is not sustainable. And so I've been struggling quite hard with finding the balance between saying yes and managing my time efficiently and getting all of my goals done and also resting and making time for the things that I enjoy. And because we're about maybe 6 weeks into this challenge, maybe seven, I can't remember, I have been taking one of my goals, which was to live more intentionally, more seriously. And I've been feeling so happy for the last 2, 3 weeks ever since taking that seriously. So, the beginning of July, and we're at the beginning of August now. And I was spending a lot of time with my friends and doing things with them and for them. So, I've started taking my friend to the gym now and training her. And one of my friends was having a birthday, and we made like a little surprise cake for when we went out to dinner, and a little birthday card, and we made little edits of her, and we just wanted to do everything that we could to make it special for her. And calling up my friend, to check in and see how she was doing. And another friend went to the hospital, and so it was just like I dropped work and I went straight away to go see if there was anything I can do to make her feel better. And just having those little moments with my friends and just taking a step back and reflecting was just like, I'm so happy in this moment, just taking like a little mental screenshot of this moment, because right now it seems to be I'm in the good times with them. So I have been taking the live more intentionally more seriously. And because I love my friends very, very much, I love saying yes to everything. And it's very important to me that, I love and cherish them while they're, in my life in my 20s. And so it was suggested to me that we start doing dancing. And I was just like, yes, I would love to start dancing because, that would also be one of the things that would help me live the rest of 2025 more intentionally. It sounds like so much fun. And I had a look at my calendar and I was just like, wow, it's already full. I have no idea where I'm going to slot this in. And I was just like really trying to like move things around. It's just like, oh, okay, maybe I can like double up on this thing. Like maybe after we go to the gym, then we can, start dancing. Or maybe I need to like take this away and just like, my schedule's full. I have to say no. And I was also starting to talk to another client as well about some potential work that was going to come my way, maybe in like the next couple of months. And so I was looking at how much time I'm spending doing YouTube, how much time I'm spending doing client work for, client number one, how much work I'm going to do for client number two, and also how much time I spend with my friends. And I'm also trying to learn these new skills for my self-employment. And I'm also trying to, make sure that I'm getting my 8 hours of sleep. I'm going to the gym 4 times a week and all of these other things, and also trying to rest. And as I was making this schedule, my little rest periods, my me periods were basically non-existent. And I thought, you know what, that is okay, because I have been loving spending the amount of time that I have been with my friends. They are my rest. They are how I feel rejuvenated. I must be an extrovert because I feel the most like refreshed and happy is after I've seen them. And so I thought, that's just when I'll have my rest. When I see them, when they come over, most of the time it's pretty chill anyway. And unfortunately, I was wrong. Like, I love my friends so much, but it's not rest still. And that was a very hard thing to accept. So because I have a sensitive nervous system, my body will start to crash if I'm overloading it with, too much mental weight. So I noticed that I was starting to move around my day-to-day like errands with like a lot of like vigor. So just like chopping vegetables in like a hurry, cooking with a hurry, like wiping down the bench, just like, and I was just moving in like such a rush. And when I was going to bed, I was just thinking a lot, and I was just like mentally like looking at my calendar and trying to like move the pieces around. And I was also just starting to feel like that anxiety in my chest. And I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be. Like, I'm on anxiety medication now. I haven't felt this in like 2 months. Oh no, it's starting to come back. And I wasn't able to like sleep again. And I was just like, no, no, what do you mean? No, no, not this again. And I realized, oh God, I can't do it all. Like, I have to say no to something. And that's so hard to accept when everything feels important. Like, what do you mean I have to give up something? I'm not giving up my friends, because last time I didn't see them for like 2, 3 weeks, I was miserable. And I can't give up my sleep because it's extremely important for my like mental like cognition and, thinking skills. And I also can't give up like my fitness, because that will also again deteriorate my mental health. And I can't work any less at my day job. And I don't want to give up YouTube either. And I also need to do client work so that I actually can become self employed. Like, what in the world do I give up? Everything feels so important, but something had to give. And because otherwise, I'm still going to have all of this mental weight on me, and I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm going to continue to have like that tightness in my chest and a racing heart. So I really just had to like accept that something has to go and what can go and what I have to do. So the first thing that I had to reflect upon is what I'm doing for work, because when I actually calculated the potential number of work hours that I was going to be working every single week with the new clients that might be onboarding in the next couple of months, weeks, is it's going to get up to about like 50, 60 hours. And I'm like, that's not sustainable. Like, I can't do that. And the biggest problem with the client work at the moment is that it's all freelance work. So unfortunately, I don't have a retainer at the moment. And for various reasons, I can't really set up a retainer. Kind of hard to explain why, but it means that I can't leave my day job. So it means essentially 20 hours at my day job, and then the other like 20 to 30, 40 working on client work. But the thing with the client work, if it's freelance, if they want to discontinue working with me for whatever reason, then that's a stream of income that's gone. And if I leave my day job, then I'm going to have to go crawling back and just say like, hey, I need some work. And it's too soon for me to be able to, I need to essentially balance the onboarding process and making it like a monthly retainer, and also having a system in place where I can easily find new clients, and so that I can eventually switch from my day job to doing freelance client work. But the other thing is that YouTube takes up a lot of my time. So the very first thing that I accepted that unfortunately had to go is YouTube. And don't worry, this isn't like my last episode ever, but I, really enjoy doing this, and I wanted to post every single week. So every 2 weeks I would post, what's been going on, how I've been going with my 6-month challenge. And every other week I would be posting something like a day in my life, or just talking about like how I've been managing my anxiety, and just all of these other, little things that I am interested in doing every other week. But those videos take a lot longer than these videos. These videos usually take me around 7 to 10 hours. They're pretty simple. But the other videos require a lot more video editing. They require a lot more mental planning and remembering off the top of my head. And they also take a lot more time, essentially. And as much as I love doing YouTube, I don't want it to be something that is my main source of income at the moment, because I really just want to focus on posting the kind of content that I enjoy. In order to make my account grow in the way that the algorithm probably wants you to post, is going to consume all of my time, and then I won't be able to focus on doing any client work. And there's also no guarantee that what I start to post does become successful. It could just be a lot of time and hours sunk into it while I'm still working at my day job, and by the end of the year, nothing has really changed. And trying to get client work just seems more of the sustainable option. And so essentially, that means that YouTube is a hobby if I'm not willing to put in the extra hours to try and make it something where I can get some extra income off of it. So that means I essentially just need to just post these bi-weekly updates and just let a part of this go. And it's not to say that I'll never come back to it. It's just something that I'm going to have to come back to maybe after I've left my day job, because I've gotten client work now. So, and as soon as I did that, as soon as I was just like, I have to let a little bit of YouTube go, suddenly I was able to sleep. I was able to sleep again. It's just like, are you kidding me? That actually worked, just like lightening the mental load and, reducing my work hours. I don't want to actually hear that. I want to actually know that I can do it all. Like, I can do everything and it won't affect my nervous system and my sleep. But unfortunately, it did work. And so it's just like, okay, all right. That was a pretty clear message. And the other thing that I did was I started resting intentionally. So what I've essentially learnt about rest and the way that I've been resting at the moment is that it's always been productive rest, because I feel too guilty because I've got so much that I'm trying to accomplish to actually sit down and intentionally rest. Everything that I consume is usually on the go. So if I'm usually listening to audiobooks on the go and YouTube in the background and doing like just multitasking essentially. And if I do lie down, sometimes I'm just doom scrolling on TikTok just for like a little giggle and like a laugh and like some rest. And it can make me feel a little bit guilty sometimes. It's just like, oh, I could be like reading a book right now, or I could be scrolling on Substack and like learning right now. But I just want to have like a little bit of a break. I want to like scroll and have a laugh. And what I've learnt about rest, and this might be a little bit hard to explain, but it kind of feels like if you kind of just scan your body, you can kind of just feel if you're scrolling. And this is how I feel. This is what I'm saying. When I'm scrolling on my phone, I still feel in my body just that little bit like tense, that I'm not actually able to go like, like my whole body is just relaxed. And I don't really feel that when I'm scrolling. And that's the feeling that you should have when you're trying to get that deep restorative rest. And apparently, I don't remember where I saw this number, but you're supposed to get around 30 to 90 minutes of like true rest every single day. And I'm just like, okay, I'll try and manage that. And so a couple of the other things that was suggested was to just lie down in silence for like 15 to 20 minutes with maybe like a weighted blanket, and maybe watching like a nature documentary on Netflix. Or I could potentially do my jigsaw puzzle while listening to nothing. And so those actually all sound very nice. And so what I opted to do is to lie in my bed for, an extra 30 minutes in the morning and listen to my audiobook and just feel all cozy as I kind of have like a little slow wake up for the day. And I was also watching some Netflix as well for the last 4 days for so many hours. And because I was resting every single evening for the last like 3 nights, because I was resting for the last 3 nights quite a bit, quite considerably, I may have binged a couple of like episodes, I noticed that I actually got that deep restorative rest because I have like a little health ring. It actually tells me how stressed I am throughout the day. And what I was noticing with my rest while I was sleeping, while I was, trying to do it all and have like this very heavy mental load, I was still stressed during my sleep and I wasn't getting like that deep restorative rest. And as soon as I actually started lightening the mental load and sitting down and resting intentionally, my recovery was it was very high, but the numbers were very, very low, which is a very good sign. And that also made me very frustrated. It's just like, I don't want, I just want to be able to like do it all. Like, I just want to be able to like be go, 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 because to me, what I'm doing is fun. I am enjoying spending all of my time, working towards my goals because I have seen, like a little glimmer of success from one of my YouTube videos, and it was fun to me. And I also enjoy spending time with my friends, and I like feeling busy and productive. It feels like I'm taking like step by step towards my goals, and it feels very fulfilling and fun to me. It the way that I phrased it to my friends is it feels like I'm in the driver's seat going like 100 kilometers an hour and I'm having fun, just like, woo, yeah, this is so much fun. And my body's in the passenger seat. It's just like, girl, I know you're having so much fun, but I'm not. And she's just like clutching like the side of the door. She's just like, please slow down. So unfortunately, I have to respect, well, not unfortunately, I just have to respect what my body needs because I've been kind of thinking, am I lying about being anti hustle? Because I don't want to, like, my idea of rest is having fun while I'm resting and just having fun with my friends and just, having them over and having like a little chat and maybe doing like some dancing now or like journaling in my notebook. It all still feels productive and something that I have fun doing. So it kind of feels like as long as I'm having fun while I'm resting, it feels like I'm resting, but that's not how my body feels because I feel like I'm, driving super fast and my body doesn't like that. My body just wants to lie on the ground and it just wants to feel that state of like, ah. And so when I was thinking, like, am I lying about being anti-hustle if I'm working hard? And I would say that the answer is no, because the hustle bro grind set is essentially like work no matter what. So it's kind of like a more is more mentality, whatever it takes, productive above all else, including your overall well-being and your health. So it's just like starting to neglect your physical health, your sleep, your community in favor of just getting more hours in. And that's why I would say probably not a hustle bro, because if I was a hustle bro, I would be ignoring what my body says and like not sleeping. It's just like, you know what, I'll just do it tired. And, starting to neglect my friends and not to go to the gym. I feel like it's okay to want to be busy and to want to feel and to want to be productive and work hard towards the things that you want to achieve. And I'm also trying to do it in a healthy way. And so I have had to essentially drop a couple things. I have to, reduce the amount of hours I spend doing YouTube. And when it comes to doing my work, I do have to work smarter, but I also have to really think about not just saying yes to everything, but I have to say yes to things that are actually going to progress me. So when it comes to starting to onboard clients, I need to really start thinking about creating a retainer system so that I always know that I'll get this amount of money each month so that I can start to reduce my day job hours. And I also need to find a system that allows me to find new clients. So I need to start posting on social media because if I just continue to say yes to clients hourly and not have that security, then I'll never be able to leave my day job. And I will be working those very, very high hours and it will start to eat into my, my rest time and the things that bring me joy and help my mental health. So essentially, by having that little period of poor sleep, it has made me reassess what I say yes to, kind of reassess the process that I have when it comes to trying to find clients and onboard them and the payment kind of system as well. And now that I have reduced my hours when it comes to, doing YouTube, I'll just be doing like these little bi-weekly summaries. That means that now that I'm not doing that until I actually get those clients onboarded, because again, this is probably going to take a couple of like weeks or months for them to be ready to, come on board. They're just interested at the moment. It means that I've freed up some time finally to be able to spend working on those skill acquisition so that I can actually have like those monthly retainers. Because at the moment, all I'm really doing is a little bit of graphic design, social media, and video editing. And it feels very vague because I am still new and I haven't had a lot of experience quite just yet. So even though it is a little bit annoying to sometimes have like little bouts of poor sleep and, have my chest, start to feel really tight and anxious and overloaded, it is more of a blessing because it means that I am doing things that makes it more sustainable, because I could just keep going and ignoring all of my body signals and then absolutely crash and burn maybe in like a couple of years. So yes, I can't be too harsh or mean about it. It's just a little bit of an inconvenience, but overall, it's overall a good thing, essentially. And it has actually got me resting without the guilt. So what I think I'll start doing, like after I have dinner, is I'll maybe watch an episode of something that I enjoy on my projector, and I'll try and manage my time and, try and rearrange things so that I try and get more work done in the morning so that I can spend those afternoons starting off, kind of like strong, doing all of that work, go to the gym with my friends, and then, have like a little bit of downtime, watching like a little episode of something, and then I go to bed. And then, it's like a nice little like wind down, essentially, instead of, trying to work all hours of the day and the evening. But again, this process is probably going to still take a little bit of time. I find that trying to just slip into a brand new routine and just have it all down, it doesn't really work like that. You usually have to find like, okay, doing that particular schedule that day, that didn't really work for me, so I'll have to adjust it for like the next time. And it just takes a little bit of time to like really fine tune your daily routine, especially when little things come up that you didn't expect. So anyway, I apologize if this episode may have been like a little bit boring, but I hope that it still provided some value about, actually like listening to what your body's signals are and resting without guilt. And like 30 to 90 minutes really isn't all that much, and is something that I can probably start making more of a priority. Just, spending like an extra 20 minutes listening to my audiobook in bed. Apologies for the lighting change, the sun just came out. And, in the evenings, maybe just watching like a little episode of something with one of my friends. So just smaller things, because otherwise I probably would have ended up doing it like scrolling on my phone anyway, whereas I could just actually rest intentionally during that period where I'm just like doom scrolling. So yes, anyways, I hope that this video made you feel a little bit less alone in your nervous system journey or any goals that you are trying to accomplish. And I guess I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye bye.